Hello guys, this is Alex Spence, self-realised renunciate monk, coming right at you from the middle of the woods. Once again, I'm just perched on a log. Oh, how nice is this? Hope you're well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. I hope we're well. Sending my love to you. Please give us a hug. Hope you're well and much love. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about people and our interactions with people, how we are in the world, and because a lot of the conversations and interactions I've had with people, a lot of it's to do. There has been a few messages about people in general, just like getting to everyone. Just sort of like there's been sort of like lots of resistance. There's always someone that's sort of like there as a niggle, one way or another. And I put it down to, this can be amplified for potentially the person that I'm sort of talking to now. It can be amplified in the respect of how different belief systems can be. Not only does a person not sort of like fit how you think they should be in the world, but their beliefs are so far away from you that it causes even more resistance. And I've sort of gone through this been through this stage myself, where it's just like you get really, being around people can be tough. Just because of what you believe and how you feel, what you're going through, can put up so much like detachment from you and people around you. So when there's people at work, or just even like just people like in the street and strangers that you sort of like bump into, and they're just like not fitting the bill, it's really tough sometimes. But I had the massive shift of where I started to really look at my life like a theatre performance, and I really started to look at everything from sort of like internally, then externally, about how just over the top my mind is. Just everything in my mind was just so like over the top. I had so many beliefs of what people should be doing or shouldn't be doing. I had so many beliefs of how my interactions should be. Over analytical. It really sort of like how my mind can sort of blow things out of proportion. And if you can look at that, and you can see that in the world with people and the way they are. And you can sort of, let's say, I think I touched on this the other day, if someone sort of gets to you, if a person is sort of like going out of their way to sort of get to you, and you feel like you're sort of like backed into a corner because of everything that's going on, it's always the other person with the issues, It's always the other person. And it's always the other person and their belief systems. And it's the intertwining of the two which create this sort of say tension. And more often than not, within life, just everything is just sort of like completely blown out of proportion, man. And it starts from the mind, and that's where all this sort of, from my sort of story and journey, where I had my anxiety and attention deficit, and anxiety is just really just everything being blown out of proportion to a very severe degree. For me, to the point where it was almost delusional. Everyone had to be a certain way, everyone had to fit a certain bill. But when you look at everyone around you, it's just like this massive theatre production. Everything's just all for show, everything's just, whether the person's in front of you to learn from, it just, whether you pick up on that, it doesn't really matter. You just turn, it's when I first started turning everything into sort of like, everything into a massive game. When I started to really look at what was going on internally as like a big game, there's so much you can sort of like laugh off. Let's say if someone does sort of, there's something that happens with someone, or they say something that's over the top and it really gets to you. And it's just like, just look at what just happened and just think that person is just, everything's just over the top. You know. And when you look at it like that, obviously in life, like I've said, this is sort of following on from yesterday about like everything, sort of like try and make everything a game, like trial and error with stuff. And just dance this dance. And this is just something that's like really helped me out massively, one way or another. When it comes to sort of, let's say, someone not almost like thinking of them fitting the bill. That's just so out there. It's just so like, you know, that's just so over the top that I should think someone should fit this pigeonhole. So this is just me. This is just something I've sort of like, I've just, from conversations and interactions I've had, people sort of, when you get that one person that sort of triggers you first thing in the morning, which sort of ripples in a pond. It's almost, the way I look at it now, I would never want someone to have that amount of sort of power over my internal state. I'd never want to relinquish that to someone else. For something to disgruntle me and then to sort of affect my day. But if someone does say something, or just sort of, someone's really outlandish to you, or you feel like you're being like backed into a corner, one way or another, just look at the whole situation. It's probably completely blown out of proportion. And when you look at that, and you look at it all like a theatre production, more often than not, at the end of most situations, you can just smile because you're seeing it for everything that it is. So next time someone sort of disgruntles you, or there's someone in front of you at the beginning of your day, just laugh, you know, just sort of like, just breeze it off, see it as all as like this theatre production that I'm talking about. And that with that sort of like, with that attitude, and you can really sort of like wash so much off your back. And I think, like I've said, this is really important for us because of our beliefs are really different from, more often than not, everyone in our entire lives. So this is going to be, there's always going to put up even more room for resistance and confliction within. So it can almost be really easy to get into a place where people can get to you because of that difference and separation. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, man. You can be a one man, one woman show, it just doesn't matter. Just keep smiling, laugh it off, and water off a duck's back. Okay, cool, man. I'm going to leave this now by saying Alex Spence, self-realised renunciate monk, coming right at you from the middle of the woods. I hope we're well. I just wanted to say a few words on just people in general, about just sort of like, it's a good place to start, just to let things go for the little things, anything that really affects your state. Don't relinquish that to someone. Keep all your power to you. And have a fantastic day, and much love. And I'll be talking tomorrow about what happens when you get dragged out the office into an advanced awakened state, and what happens then. Okay, now peace out, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow.